things don't work that way. So what we've learned so far in marriage and in regards to finances is you have to be transparent to each other with your money. His money is our money. My money is sometimes our money, sometimes my money. But the thing is, you have to be transparent with each other when it comes to money. Hi guys, welcome back to Chat with Tiana. If this is your first time here, we do vlogs, inspirational videos, and everything that has to do with faith. So if you saw my previous video, my husband and I celebrated our 10th year anniversary, and we're just out having a family dinner and just talking about how the journey has been so far. If it's something you would like to watch, please keep watching, and please leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't done so, and welcome. I'm doing this because one of my friends on YouTube, Catherine O'Hillary, asked me to do a video on marriage, advice on marriage, since we've been married for 10 years. So thank you, Catherine, for the idea. So that's just what we are doing. So I hope you will learn one or two things from this video. So what other things have we learned from a few years together so far?
Yeah. I'll call it few years because
few years. There are people who have been married for longer. You know?
Greater years are ahead of us.
Amen.
Better years are ahead of us.
Amen.
So when you look back, to the 10 years, we understood that marriage is something that both of you need to agree that this will work.
Yes, very important. You have to both decide that this will work, because things will happen that will shake you guys. Like things will happen that will shake the very foundation of your home sometimes.
Yes.
But you have to have made the decision from the beginning that this will work, that there's no going back, there's no leave, no transfer. Because in Europe and several other countries, when people go into marriage, you already sign a contract of how it's going to end before it even starts. So if you know that you want your marriage to work, you have to, from the onset, decide to stay and fight for it and make it work. Because marriage is a lot of work, guys. It is a lot of work. You have no idea. You have to fight for the home that you want. You work for the home that you want. Yeah.
You see, one of the ways I can explain marriage is one scenario that was painted for me about soldiers, and I believe this is what normally happens. If a soldier is going to war, I think during the Second World War, I had that was the strategy that this man used, Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
When he mobilized soldiers to a particular location, what he does is he gives an order that the ship that takes them to that place should be bombed.
Should be burnt. Oh my God.
On arrival.
No going back.
So when the ship is bombed in the presence of the soldiers now understand that, look, the ship that brought us here has been bombed. So it is, we better fight and survive and live. Because that's no retreat, no surrender comes to play.
Not going anywhere. You have to.
You don't have a plan B. So if you don't have a plan B, then you put everything you got to make it work.
I remember the first time. Did you remember our first year when it was so tough? There was a day I packed my bag and I was like, I'm done, I don't need to do it again. I'm going back to my father's house. And then I called my brother and I told him, the bros, I'm coming back, I can't do this, we're too different. And he said, where are you coming? You're not coming anywhere. Stay there and build your home. So things will happen, situations will occur that will, shake the foundation of your home. But if you have decided to make it work, you have decided to stay, you will stay. And with the help of God, it will only grow into bliss for you. And another thing that we've learned so far is to pray for one another.
Very important.
Pray for the home, that's different, but you have to pray for each other. Pray for each other. You are both individuals going through you have different struggles, you have different things that you are going through, but if you always find time to pray for one another, God hears and God answers, and He will send help to each of you. So always remember to pray for each other, pray for your spouse. Always. It sure does a lot of good for the home. So let's talk about money in marriage and finances in marriage. That was a big issue in the beginning for us because I'm coming from where I didn't have to ask before I got stuff, and then getting into marriage, I got to realize that no, things don't work that way. So what we've learned so far in marriage and in regards to finances is you have to be transparent to each other with your money. His money is our money. My money is sometimes our money, sometimes my money. But the thing is, you have to be transparent with each other when it comes to finances, right?
Yes, I remember it took you over 2 years to accept
the we part of the money part.
Because
I was like, no, that's your money, and this money is my money.
You keep saying it's my money, and I keep correcting you that this is no longer my money.
It's our
Yes, I earn the money, but it's not my money, it's our money. And then when we begin to see things in that perspective, and then, we begin to appropriate adequately when it comes to disbursing of the funds,
and spending wisely,
planning on the funds, investing on the funds, whatever we're going to do on the fund. Yes,
together.
We understand that it is our money. That means if I go down, you go down.
Oh yeah.
That is what it means. So you don't let me go down, because if I go down, you're going down with me. I'm not. The sinking ship sinks with those that are on board. The sinking ship doesn't sink alone. It sinks with everybody that is in the ship. So it is very important for we to understand that when you are in marriage, transparency, accountability becomes paramount.
Sometimes that's hard. It's hard to be
because
totally transparent.
When we are saying
sit down,
when we start using the we and our money language, it means you have to be accountable to each other. What that means is,
if I have to spend any amount from our money, I have to let you know.
That is the point.
That was the hardest part.
That is the point. No, but that is because I keep, reminding, my wife that, look, this thing is, we have to flip the coin sometimes. Put yourself in my shoes. If you think you can spend $1 without letting me know, you should also know that I should be able to spend the $1 without letting you know.
It's not allowed.
And when it is like that, we start from 1 to 10 to 5,000 to 10,000. So I should be able to spend $10,000 without letting you know.
True.
That's it. So if I must tell you that anything I want to do, not when I mean everything, I don't mean, you understand what we mean, but at least major things you want to do, that has to do with, it's going to cause some, on
impact
on the fund. You need to speak first, discuss it. You don't just sit down and just receive a text message that 5,000 is gone. Why is 5,000 going out? We didn't discuss anything we didn't discuss anything the night before that 5,000 will be going out today. So that is what it means. So,
and another thing I've learned in marriage is you have to be patient. You have to wear the garment of patience. Because let's face it, it's two people who have never lived together before coming together to form a family and live together. So there's bound to be toes stepped on, especially in the early years. So you have to be patient with each other. Give each other room to grow. Right, honey?
That's very true. I think if I add to that, I think, because it doesn't even matter how long you have, dated. Sometimes you date for 4 years, you date for 5 years, but you're not living together. It's a different ball game when you wake up every morning and you see the same face. You wake up every morning and then sometimes you look at each other and you do not have anything to say. There are times like that. But what keeps you going, is what matters. You need to have this connection. That connection, you have to have a common ground where you kick off discussions, and then you guys will just go up from there. So it is very important to know that whether anything, patience is the key. You have to have that virtue. It's a virtue, actually. You have to be patient with each other, because the patience goes with tolerate. Some things you just need to, I wouldn't have done it like that, but this is the way.
Compromise.
Yes, compromise.
Let go of certain things.
That
you don't
is
need
the
to
right
drag
word.
everything.
That is the right
You
word.
let go. We have to learn that the hard way. Our first few years,
did.
it was really tough.
We did.
Everybody wanting to be right.
Yes.
At the same time, not allowing room for the other person. Compromising, because we were both like cut from two different cloths. So it was really hard in the first few years. But with the help of mature people who had already been married before us, who counseled us, we were able to realize that our differences could actually be our strength.
Yes.
And then we learned to compromise. Just let things go. I'm not saying sweep things under the carpet, but you look at the environment, look at the situation, whatever the situation is. If it's not a perfect time to discuss it, you keep it for another day. And when the tempers are calm, you can bring it up calmly and you guys can discuss and reach an end to that situation. So yes, compromise is very important.
It's very important. It's very important. And families need to understand this. And when we talk about that, that will now, give birth or, by extension to what is known as joint account. I know many people have controversies on that. A lot of people don't want to.
Boils down to transparency.
It boils down to transparency anyway. You can operate an individual account and be very transparent, even more than operating a joint account. But the joint account is just to cement it. Just, you are aware. It's 10,000 we have in the account. You know. I don't need to explain. You know that it's 10,000.
Yeah.
So if 1,000 is going out, we both discuss it. If 20 million comes in, you know it is 20 million. If you want us to use the 20 million and, throw it into the water, fine. We'll both end up understanding that we're going to pay the repercussion for it. So, all these are the things that, those are the two things.
And also, one of the things that people don't prepare for when they are getting into marriage is that there might be some hard times sometimes. Some days might be sweet, some days might be hard. Hard times in your marriage, but you have to be there for one another. Psychologically, physically, spiritually, you have to hold each other's hand along life's journey. Because what is marriage? Marriage is all about holding the other person's hand and walking through life together. So have that back of your mind. When the hard time comes, be ready to hold each other's hand and help each other out of that ditch.
Okay, now can we
So guys, I hope you guys have learned one or two things from our marriage so far. Thank you all so much for celebrating with us. Thank you for all the comments. And I pray that everyone's home will be kept and blessed by God in Jesus' name. Please leave a comment. If this is your first time here, please subscribe, like and share. And I will see you all in my next video. Thank you for all my returning subscribers. Thank you all so much. You're the best. Thank you for watching and have a beautiful day. God bless you. Bye.
Okay.